What's up guys, it's your girl Miss and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you guys can read by the title, yes, I am doing the story time about Snake 1 and Snake 2. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, please go back and watch my last two videos that I've recently posted. Well, actually not recently. The first video that I posted was why I left home, then a month later I decided to post the day I left home, which was last week I think. Hopefully this video is going to be out like a week later because I don't want to be a slacker anymore. But anyways, yeah, just watch those two last videos and hopefully you'll get a better insight and understanding about who I'm referring to when I say Snake 1 and Snake 2. Before I get into the story time, if you guys are new and watching this channel, please go ahead and subscribe, smash the notification bell and that like button. It would mean so much to me. And also, can I please add, thank you so much to everyone who subscribed and watched my last video and just showed so much love and support. I actually appreciate you guys so much. I got so many DMs of loads of you guys saying that you've learned a lot from my story time, the experiences that you guys are currently going through and how much you've learned by just listening to my story, and it really does mean a lot to me. The reason why I post these story times are so people are more aware of things that happen in day-to-day life and just, you know, being more aware, because I feel like people end up, for example in this story time you'll realize that people don't know their friends very well, or they don't know who they surround themselves around, and you can end up in really crazy situations. So it's just about looking out for yourself and putting your mental health first and just being a happy little bunny. Okay, so just know if you ever need me guys, you can go ahead and hit me up on the gram at It's Your Girl Miss, and also my Snapchat, which is also It's Your Girl Miss. I don't know if my chats are public, but I do tend to put them public here and there, so if you guys do need me in an emergency, just know you can snap me, okay? But anyways, let's get into the story time. So let's go back to 2018. I know you guys have heard about the story time of the day I left home, and this is more so like the morning when I woke up, you know, after the argument and everything. The morning I woke up and I decided to leave my house, and I encountered the auntie and I ran and was on my way to the shopping center to get my suitcase. As you guys know and are aware, I did mention that I called a friend letting her know about me leaving home on that day, and let's call this friend Snake 1 because she also had a friend who I also made aware that I left home as well, and her name is Snake 2. Okay, so just remember the order type thing. So Snake 1 I met in university alongside Snake 2. They were both actually really close, like besties, and as I always say, don't ever be friends with two girls that are like really close, because once you get into like a group of friends in three, it's, you know, it goes downhill from there. And honestly speaking, I didn't really like think of it that way at the time, and silly me, just know that in secondary school I was also in like a friendship group of three and I was the odd one out. I fell into the same trap twice, which is so shit. So basically I met these girls in 2018. We were studying the same course. I don't know if we were studying the exact same course, because I believe I did foundation year, guys, in case any of you didn't know, because I didn't really get the best grades in terms of the exact subjects I needed. And if you guys want a story time on why, I'll also go ahead and do one on that as well. But yeah, basically I got into the University of Westminster. Yeah, I basically started in foundation year and I was studying biological sciences. And when you're in foundation year, everybody is like in a mishmash lecture hall, because you all basically have the same modules, and then some of them differentiate depending on if you were like a biomed student, or if you were a biological science student, or if you were just doing biochemistry, human nutrition, you name it. You will see some people in your lecture and then the next day you will see them in like another one because of their course, if that makes sense. So I remember the first time I met these girls, it was in a completely different campus, and obviously at the time I didn't really have a very secure friendship with anyone in uni, and this was like a month or two after starting university. We'll stick with that for now. It may not be like very accurate, but a month or two of getting into university, I decided to go to this new campus one day and was like, okay, do you know what, today I'm gonna try and be socialize with people and maybe make some friends. And I see a group of people, and funnily enough, there was a group of people which also involved Vic, and then there was also another group of females that used to just chill there as well. Obviously I made friends with like Vic and that friendship group as well, but I more so veered towards the female friendship group just because I thought it would make more sense if I had females to just have as friends, you know, like I just wanted a friend, for fuck's sake. So I went to that little group. I think they were playing cards or something like that. They used to play a lot of games, I'm not gonna lie. It was fun. They were a pretty lit group, but yeah, most of the times when I used to go to that campus, it would be to like socialize and to chill, because obviously in that campus it was more so like a huge nice area to chill basically. But yeah, I went to these girls in a group that were just chilling there, and I was like, oh hey, how you doing, blah blah blah. Obviously we started talking and got each other's Instagrams and Snapchats, and we were like, oh my god, it's so dope, we're in the same course, so like ever need like help with our module or like whatever work we get given, we can, you know, be there for each other type thing. So it basically started off as that, but then halfway through the year, Snake 1 and Snake 2, we started hanging out a lot more often. Like we'll see each other in our lab lessons a lot more, we'll see each other a lot more in our lectures, and like it got to a point where we were like literally sitting together in our lectures as well, like messaging each other about work, and that's how it kind of got going. I personally didn't really mention any of my issues back at home and just my mental health in general, which I feel like I should have spoken to like somebody completely different about, but I don't really think they saw anything with regards to my mental health. They just thought that I was like a really mad, chatty, like open person, and that's really fair. But yeah, long story short, I thought we were very, very, very good friends. So I always felt like I could go ahead and message them when I needed to, and just I used to look at them as if like they were sisters that I could vent out to basically, because I've never had that before. And I'm not gonna lie, when I went to university I felt like it was a new chapter in my life, and I was like, you know what, for once I'm actually gonna try and make friends and hopefully people like me for me. And it was the first time I was just being myself and just being goofy as fuck. And yeah, I know I was a bit awkward because I'd never been given freedom before, and I may have come across as a really loud and obnoxious character, but hey ho, they ended up like being there for me when I needed to be honest. But yeah, everything was going so well, and I basically considered these girls as like really close friends of mine in uni. They had my numbers, and obviously if you guys did watch my story time that I posted previously about the day I left home, I did mention that my family decided to take all of my contacts in my phone when they took my phone off me on the day of the argument. So like the night before I left home, they wrote down all of my friends' contacts, and that included Snake 1 and Snake 2. I messaged all my friends. I literally said to them on Snapchat, because obviously on Snapchat like your messages disappear straight away, and when you log into another device, I don't know if they still do this, but when I logged into another device it would log me out of my phone. And I was like, hey, this is fine, like I could literally message them and tell them to basically keep it on the low, like if they ever message them, like just to not respond. But I was clearly wrong. That day I called Snake 1 on my way to the shopping centre to get myself a suitcase. I presume she somehow got contacted by my family members. I don't know when and I don't know how, but it happened. And I remember on the day that I left home, I also ended up going to uni, and they met up with me. But we met up in the uni, the campus where everybody used to socialize, and they basically sat me down and they got like a student mentor or something like that to help me out. At the time I was really confused, but I thought they were genuinely trying to help me out. But basically she said to me like, oh yeah, if you want to get into like accommodation to like get help from uni, this was the mentor speaking, by the way. She said just fill out an estrangement form, and that means that you cannot contact your family anymore whatsoever, blah blah blah. And I was just like, oh my god, oh shit, like that's fine, like if I can get help, I can get a roof over my head, that would be perfect for me. But somehow they both, Snake 1 and Snake 2, had contact with my family behind my back. So I remember telling you guys about when I went to Snake 1's house and I went to the police station to basically give myself in and let them know that I was completely fine and that I was of legal age, and I went back to Snake 1's house. Now what I did not know, and it actually aggravates me so much even to this day, is that this woman, as I was staying in her house, was talking back and forth to my family about my whereabouts, about my every move, about whatever I was doing. And when I left, I added up the dots and was like, oh my gosh, because the moment I stepped into her house that day, I remember she was telling me that it was just to like eat, just so I can go back to my hotel in Canary Wharf, which, if you guys know, I ended up booking the wrong day for, so I went back to Clapham. But I remember going to her house and it was fine, but I just felt very tense. It was very awkward. Like there was a big silence in the air and I thought nothing of it, and I just thought maybe it's just my depression talking. But as I went to sit down at her table, her mum said to me, "Your mum loves you, okay?" And from that moment I had suspicions, but I had never in a million years thought that she was talking to my parents behind my back, and her mum and dad were both also in on it and were aware that I had just left home and now I was sitting in their home eating, completely unaware. Bear in mind, I told my friend, don't tell your family members, don't get involved in my business, yet they still did. So I sat there. Obviously I did look at my friend when her mum said that and I was very confused, but like I remember her just looking at me and then looking back down and continue eating, and she was like, oh yeah, so do you want some more of this or some more of that? Like I almost remember her trying to change the subject and I was just really like weirded out. And so when I went upstairs to her bedroom, I asked her, I was like, oh, how does your mum know? And this girl had the cheek to say,
oh, my mum just has a really good instinct. She's really good at that stuff. Like if she sees someone, it's like she almost knows what they're going through.
And I swear to you, I will never forget the way that she said it to me, because I was just like so stupid and gullible at that moment that I believed what she was saying, because I genuinely thought she was my friend. But like looking back at it, I'm just like, you absolute piece of shite, okay? I remember I was even trying to make amends with one of them after the whole situation, and once I'd settled in at Vic's house, and I remember thinking to myself like, miss, are you stupid? Do you know what these girls did to you? They literally fucking snaked you. Like why are you trying to, like why even bother being their friends? But anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, she was literally talking to my parents behind my back with her parents, and I was just really fucking weirded out. I found out about her talking back and stuff, blah blah blah, because my family had apparently recorded the phone call conversation, so that when I came home after the week I stayed at Flower's house, they were like, oh look, by the way, we were having a conversation with her XYZ. I also knew because after a day of staying at Flower's house, Snake 1 and Snake 2 had called me and they were like, oh my god, I can't believe you lied to us, like your family said that there's nothing wrong with you, you're completely fine, and there's blah 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 XYZ. Like they thought that I left home for no fucking reason basically, and I was just gobsmacked. I was like, are you really gonna listen to a person that you have no idea about, you never met them in your life, and just because they sound a certain way you're gonna believe them? Or you're gonna believe me, someone you've known for like more than 6 months and you've spent time with? In like, it made no sense to me. I was like, why on earth are you gonna not believe me? Like, why would I leave home if I didn't have a reason? And I just feel like they genuinely believed that I had no reason to leave home. And I remember when I left her house, her dad, like, very oddly and very nicely offered me a lift to the train station and blah blah. And looking back, I now understand why. It was literally all sympathy and literally a trap. And she was asking me like, oh, where are you gonna stay now, and blah blah. And I told her that I was staying in Canary Wharf. And shall I tell you something? God really did save me that day, because imagine if, I don't know if she did tell my parents, but imagine if she told them the hotel I was going to or the area I was going to. Imagine if they ended up going to that area. Sometimes I think like, damn, me coincidentally booking the wrong day for that room in Canary Wharf that night must have been a blessing in disguise, because God knows what Snake One was telling my parents. Anyways, that happened, and Snake 2, her involvement was mainly because, like, I don't know what she was doing. She was believing Snake 1 and them two were gossiping about it, and I feel like my whole situation was just a reason for them to like have some sort of spice in their life. I remember there was also a conversation of her saying like, oh my god, there's so much stress, like, oh my god. And I remember Snake 2 was crying when I was calling my family, and I was like, why the in my head I was thinking, why the F are you crying? Like, you're not going through what I'm going through. Oh, but your family, I know. Like, I look back at it and I think, you absolute piece of garbage. Why on earth are you trying to act like you're helping me, but really you're trying to bitch behind my back with my family and literally listen to their BS, and then go ahead and antagonize me and find out small details about my whereabouts, who I'm staying with and where I'm at. And I'm telling you, the difference between Snake 1 and Snake 2 and Flower is that when I told Flower, look, if my family message you, don't answer because it's literally not necessary, and I explained my situation just like I explained to Snake 1 and Snake 2, Flower had listened to me. Like, she literally didn't reply to my family. She even advised me, like, if this is what you're going through, you shouldn't go back. Whereas Snake 1 and Snake 2 are over here talking behind my back, like literally having full-on conversations with my family, trying to work out where I'm at and trying to basically believe that me leaving home was just a joke. I didn't have any reason to be leaving home. Like, I just found that so absurd. But anyways, when I found out, I was absolutely furious. I honestly felt so betrayed, and I remember thinking like, damn, who am I ever gonna trust ever again? And I feel like when I went to Flower's house and the way that she handled the situation was like incredible. Like, there's no other person on this planet that probably could have executed the situation better than Flower did, because she literally listened to me. She understood that there couldn't be just like no reason for me to be leaving home, and she could see that I was in pain, and she could see that mentally I was significantly affected, and she cared. Whereas Snake 1 and Snake 2, who I'd been hanging around with for 6 months, every single day in uni, seeing them every single day, doing whatever, like, how could you do that? Like, I just never understood. Even to this day, I genuinely worry, and I think it's maybe because there was like a thought in their mind that like, oh shit, no, that means that she's gonna end up being a bad person just because of their religious beliefs, because Snake 1 and Snake 2 were religious and I wasn't really religious at all, to be honest. And because my family was religious, they probably thought like, oh my god, no, she's gonna leave this religion and like da da da, let me bring her back. And I just feel like they thought they were going to be rewarded for helping me get back home, and I just don't understand it. Like, I really don't understand it, and I think it's so sad that they sat there and actually conversed with my family behind my back and acting like they didn't, and just last minute blurting it out once I was at Flower's house that, oh my god, you're such a liar, like your family told me everything. And I was just like, what? I was so fucking confused. Like, I'd never been more confused in my life. But anyways, they did that, and I just remember blocking them because I was so furious. And when I went home that first week, I remember my family even taking the piss out of me, saying, oh look, even your friends turn your back on you, and da, da, da. Like, they seemed so happy and so accomplished, and that's because of Snake 1 and Snake 2. Because funnily enough, how can my parents literally laugh and chat shit about Snake 1 and Snake 2, but then behind my back trying to act like they need help and stuff? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, I blocked them. And I think after I started social media, I do believe that Snake 2 did reach out to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I did keep it mutual because I'm not a bad person, and I don't know if I can hold grudges for long enough. But it's only recently that I slapped myself and I said, wake the F up. What these people did to you was not right, and the way that they backstabbed you and failed to understand you was not right either, so just cut them off. So I did exactly that, and I don't think I've really spoken to them ever again. But yeah, it taught me a huge lesson. Like, sometimes in life when you feel like you're in a very nice, secure friendship, you've really got to watch yourself, because boy, there's so many things that people are capable of doing behind your back. It's fucking scary. Like, you should fear for your life. But yeah, that's basically what happened. I know it's not really that long of a story time, but I just wanted it to be known so that those of you that feel like you're in friendships that your gut tells you are a bit fishy, so you could just like remove yourself from them, because it's not worth it. Honestly, isn't worth it. But yeah, I feel like after that situation, my trust issues definitely skyrocketed. I never trusted females ever again, especially those who try and be my friends. I remember when I went back to uni for like the 3rd time, I actually had TikTok and I was rapidly growing, and I went into uni and so many people knew who I was, and I was like, how crazy is that? Once you become known for a certain thing, suddenly everybody wants to be your friend. And it's so scary how fake people can be. It's so scary how they can make you feel like you're important and then turn your back on you and just do things for their own selfish reasons. And Snake 1 and Snake 2 taught me that lesson. So yeah, if you guys are ever in a friendship group, I would advise you to not trust being in a group of 3 because I know everybody says this, but in a group of 3, 2 are always closer and 1 always feels left out, and that's a fact. I've experienced it twice, once in secondary and once in uni, and never again. I feel like when you make friends, you should do it independently and one-on-one. Like, never introduce yourself to 2 people. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my trust issues talking, but like, if there's any friendship groups out there that are in a group of 3 and you guys are like loving to each other and all that jazz, I'm jealous. But yeah, man, I learned such a big lesson after that. It's kind of scary. This wasn't really a story time, this was more of me venting out to you guys, wasn't it? But yeah, dude, it was kind of fucked up. Moral of the story: trust no one, watch your back, and be aware of how much information you share about yourself, because you don't know if someone's trying to set you up. You never know if somebody has bad intentions of you. And yeah, just stay safe, guys. Stay safe, because it's a scary world out here, especially if you're starting university. I highly suggest you to just focus in uni by yourself, because you can be influenced in uni as well. Like, you can be veered into the wrong direction and it will affect your future as well. And yeah, that was kind of deep. But anyways, if you guys made it to the end of the video, please once again go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe, and comment down below what type of videos you guys want me to post. I actually do want to go ahead and post vlogs maybe, but just let me know if I should, or like makeup videos, skincare videos. Yeah, let me know. Once again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you on my next video.